And welcome to bex-treks, and on this one I have my Lanshen 1 Pro. There's a couple of tips I can show you with this that I can guarantee you haven't seen on YouTube before. One of the tips pertains to the actual tent itself and the other to the footprint. Now the footprint for me has never fit properly. What I've done is taken off what it comes with on the corners, which is a long section of yellow cord, and I put a tiny bit of stretch cord in there. Trekking pole, 120 winter, 125 you've got spring and fall, and then summertime give it up to about 130. This is what it comes with, a little loop. I'll put an extra loop of 4mm bungee in, stretched it out, pegged it out, which keeps everything in place. Then I can peg out this guy line on the crown. Mine is on an adjustable knot to get the tension. Simple slip knot, give that a pull. And what you're best off doing is grabbing the crown where the trekking pole is and pulling this towards you. At the same time you're getting the tension on your slip knot. I'll just go around and do the edges, which brings me to the actual peg out here. Mine is a bit... Now I've come round the back of the tent and I'll show you the setup, how it is out the box. And there are 3 cords to contend with. You have the actual footprint, then the inner which pulls the bathtub, and then the tightening system tension for the actual fly, and it all has to go onto one peg. Round sheet, bathtub, fly. So I have 3 things to connect to that. Now I just have the one and it's done like this. If you want to make this modification, I would get rid of this here, which was for the fly, which is a lot thicker than the bathtub, and do the modification with the bathtub cord. Alternatively, choose your own cord like I'm doing. This is the system we're going to build. It only needs the one peg between the bathtub and the fly, and here's how we're going to build this. I have my own cord here, but you can do this with the yellow cord it comes with. Mine is approximately 38 to 39 inches. Doesn't have to be exact. Get the 2 halves together, come to the other end and make a loop, overhand knot, just big enough to feed the peg through. One of the ends is going to go to the line tensioning system on the actual fly. Like that. I'm going to put an overhand stopper knot in the end here, just so it doesn't come out. And the other end we're going to connect to the bathtub using an adjuster knot. On a bathtub you'll see a webbing like this. We're going to get one of the tail ends, feed it through that bathtub webbing. Give yourself some extra tail and wrap around the line just twice. So from underneath over, do that twice till you have two little barrel loops between my thumbs like that. Instead of going round a third time, I'm going around both and through that loop. Tighten it all up so you get what looks like 3 barrel loops there. What this will do, it will allow this loop to become bigger as I adjust it, which tightens the bathtub. Or if I just grab them barrel loops and squeeze and pull, you can see it makes this loop smaller, and the fly which gets connected to that adjuster knot via a carabiner, not pictured. And tighten it up the usual way. Now tightening this fly up can sometimes make the bathtub at the bottom loose, and that's where this adjuster knot comes in. Grab them barrel loops and bring it back towards the peg, and this tightens this inner bathtub, takes all the creases out. The great thing is when you're setting it up and you look from above, when these two lines are in parallel, like now, give it a stretch, push that in, and you'll know that you're perfectly in line. Give that a little pull. I could probably trim a little bit of that off if I wanted. That is taut. That is taut. When I'm packing down, I loosen off the fly as you would anyway, and bring that adjuster knot back. You can see how it's moving the inner tub, and watch the inner tub again. Now it pulls it back. All it is doing is taking the creases out, really, which doesn't bother me if you want to leave this modification out, but I know a lot of people are quite anal about that kind of thing, but there you go. This is for the ground sheet, which needs the carabiner, which goes into that adjuster knot. I'll just have to get a carabiner, and then that's that job done. This is a view from the inside, and as you can see, these creases are what drive some people to absolutely despair. But I've got a pad on mine. I'm not going to see it, it's not going to worry me, but in order to remove the creases, I come to the other side here, and you can see my orange adjuster knot there. So if I was to push this out, you can see it's quite pliable, like elastic. It makes that orange cord loose. So all I have to do is pull that orange cord a little tighter on that adjuster knot, and it will remove these creases here. Pull the tent, take the tension. Let's go back in and have a look. That side's nice and taut, and I could pull out maybe a little more here on this one. I'm not going to let it bother me that much, to be honest. Now just have one loop, the fly and the bathtub, one peg. The footprint just goes on to a carabiner and clicks into that adjuster knot. Before I can take this out, I want to seam seal it. I've bought some silicone seam sealer. Now, I have a technique that is a lot neater than anything I've seen on YouTube. I've only seen one guy do the job neat, just one. There's a lot of people who start out with it neat, and it is everywhere. It's like a child trying to stay in the lines when it's colouring in. It is all over the place, and it's too thick, and oh, I don't know how they've got a cheek to tell you that that is a how-to video. So if you want, you can join me and we'll have a go at seam sealing this the neatest way I know how. Till next time, take care of yourself and I'll see you out there. Happy trails.